I get it. So maybe you've just started budgeting, or maybe you've even mastered budgeting, but something is a little off or something still doesn't feel like it's working. So today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I manage my money after budgeting. But if you're new here, my name is Mishra and I do videos about budgeting and personal finance and my debt-free journey, the good and the inevitable bad. And so I currently am the director of operations for a Christian media company, and I am a mom of 3 children. So I'm single income, 3 kids. On my channel, you'll normally see me do videos about budgeting, but I just wanted to kind of show you what I do after budgeting. So it's nice to have your budget, to know where your money's going, but then how does that kind of work in real time? So I know some people that just have one bank account, all of their money goes into one place, they spend from that account, their bills come out of that account, and then as you spend, you're kind of thinking like, oh, do I have enough money? Am I gonna cover, or am I gonna use some of my bill money? And that's just too much thought, too much of a thought process. So how I've kind of organized my bank accounts and my finances is to take away some of that mental overload, and so that my brain doesn't have to work overtime. So the first account that I have is my checking account. And so in this checking account, my paycheck is deposited into this account. And then from there, my bills come out of this account. So it's primarily a bills account. Most of my bills are pre-authorized debit. So the company just goes in there and takes it out. So my rent comes out, my car insurance just comes out, and now I've set up for my cell phone and my internet to just come out. So everything is automated. So basically, when I get paid, I see what bills need to get paid before my next pay period. I put that amount of money in that account, and then I do sometimes try to leave a buffer in that account, like $100 or $200, so that if for some reason something came out that I was unaware of, I have that kind of like safety, but that's basically what it is. And part of the reason why I did that is because I know this is kind of dating myself, but way back in the day, I wrote a check to my kids' school for $10, and they didn't cash that check for 3 months. And after that, I was like, you know what? This is too much trying to figure out when they're going to do this. I just need a separate account for those type of things. So that account is primarily just for bills. Then I have a second checkings account. So this checking account is at a different bank. I don't know necessarily if that matters, but I do have a different debit card for this account because it is at a different bank. And that is my spending account. So that's where I basically put my variable expenses. So like my gas, my groceries, my personal spending, miscellaneous gifts, all of those type of things. So I still keep in mind the categories that I've budgeted. So if I budgeted $200 for food or whatever groceries, I still keep that in mind as I'm spending. And I use YNAB to track my finances. So as I look into my YNAB, I can see, okay, I've spent this much already. So I still keep track, but because it's variable and it's a little bit more flexible, if you accidentally spend $20 more in your groceries category, you can just kind of take that $20 from your personal category. So having all that money in one place is okay, because if you do kind of go over, you can adjust in some other areas. So my second checking account is a spending account. So after that, then we kind of go into our savings. So then I have a savings account for my emergency fund. And so I have 2 accounts for my emergency fund, but the first account is money that is easily accessible. And part of the reason I did this is because I had my emergency fund in my tax-free savings account, which is lightly invested. But when I had an emergency and I went to go and get the money, they're like, okay, it can take up to 48 hours to get your money. So you don't want something that's kind of locked away. You want something that you can access quickly, but you don't necessarily have to have like a whole ton of money. So I have my savings account held at a credit union. So I don't have a debit card or anything for that account, but I do have currently about $2,000 in that account. So I know that if I have a $2,000 emergency, I can just take that money. So I would recommend maybe between like $1,000 or $200, depending on your individual situation. Oh, and just one more thing. In this smaller emergency fund account, you can have that in a high yield savings account. So it's earning a little bit higher interest if it's just sitting in a bank account. And then after that, I have my tax-free savings account. So that's my 4th account. And in my tax-free savings account is where I hold my emergency fund. So the rest of my emergency fund. So in this account, it's more long term, I don't assume that I'm going to have a major emergency like frequently, right? So that money will stay there a little bit longer. So I don't mind that it's lightly invested. And even though it may take a couple of days to come out, that's okay. Because what I could also do if I wanted to, if say it was more than the $2,000 that I have there, I can still use my credit card. And then after that, I know that I have the funds. They'll be there in 48 hours or 24 hours or whatever it might be. And I can just kind of pay that off. But at least I know I have the money and I'm not just using my credit card with no other way to pay it back. And then the fifth account that I have is now for long-term savings. So this is more for my retirement savings. So that's my RRSP, my Registered Retirement Savings Plan. That account for me, I have employer matching. So it is an account that's held with my employer. I contribute to it directly from my paycheck. So I don't even see that money at all. It just goes straight into the account. And then my employer matches that. If I wanted to, I could also add additional funds to that, but right now I'm not doing that. But that's more like, it's more heavily invested because, you know, I'm whatever age and I know that I'm not going to retire for another 20 whatever years. I can probably put it into something that's invested a little bit heavier or a little bit more riskier so that I know that I can get more growth over that time. Those are basically the 5 accounts that I have. And so breaking it up this way really does take some of the brain effort to manage when things are coming out, or if I have to make sure I transfer this to this account or transfer that to that account. It just makes it a little bit easier having it set up that way. So number 1, I have a bills account. Number 2, I have a spending account. Number 3, I have a short-term or a small emergency fund account. Number 4, I have my tax-free savings account, which has a longer-term emergency fund or a bigger emergency fund. And then number 5, I have my retirement savings plan. If you are also at a point where you may be saving for short-term things, so like my sinking fund, like I know right now I want to start a sinking fund for back to school. So in that, for me personally, I probably will just put that money in the same account with my mini emergency fund, just so that I don't have like 1,000 different bank accounts that I've opened, because I know at least I'll be still tracking that. But if you wanted to, you could then open a separate account just for sinking funds. So if you're saving for vacation, for Christmas, for birthdays, for whatever other things that you may be saving for in your sinking fund. So anyways, I hope that gives you some insight into how you might want to set up your bank accounts so that it's easier for you to be able to track where your money's going, what it's doing, and how to maximize the use of your budget. Until the next paycheck, bye.